Hello everyone, what's up? My name is Navneet. I am one of the product marketers here at Zoho Books, and today I'll be giving a demo and a product walkthrough through our VAT compliant edition of Zoho Books. So, as you guys can see on the screen here, it is an accounting software, a smart accounting software for growing businesses, and Zoho Books is completely VAT compliant now. It lets you send invoices, reconcile bank transactions, manage expenses, track inventory, and you can generate 50 plus insightful and powerful reports effortlessly. So when you access Zoho Books, this is how it look like as you enter our URL here, which is soho.com/books. This is where you'll be redirected to. And you probably already know, we are a cloud-based accounting software, which means that you can access our software from anywhere in the world. All you need is an internet connection. And this is the page that you'll end up at. So let's go. So for our customers to get a taste of what Zoho Books is like, so before they jump into the actual product, for them to play around with the different features, what we have done is to provide a 14-day free trial for our customers. You can see that option here. As you click that, you'll be taken to a let's get started page where you have to enter your company name, your email address, you can create your password here. Since you'll be using a UAE specific edition, it's set by default as United Arab Emirates here. Yes, it's really that simple. You can create an account. Please wait while we work our magic there. Yes. So yeah, let's get started. Here in this page, you have to give the organization details of your business. So you can start off by setting the exact date on which you're going to start recording your transactions in Zoho Books. You can select your industry type here. Let's go with construction. Customer portal is a really cool feature that we have where you can provide access to your clients. It's a client portal where they can see all their invoices and transactions in all in one place. So here you're basically setting the name for that portal. I'll just give it as 001 here, and you can provide the rest of your company address here, and you can save and continue. So next up, yeah, these are the modules that are required for your business. So as you set up your organization in Zoho Books, so you have the option to enable the modules that you would need, because not every business would require all the modules that we provide here. If you're looking for your sales orders, or if you would like to enable your inventory for your business, you can easily do that here. I'll just quickly click on next here. Yeah, finally you arrive at the payment gateways. If you're sending out invoices to your customers and you collect payments from them, and this is how you configure your payment gateway. From here, if you have a PayPal account, you can set it up easily at the click of a button, and you're good to go. It's as easy as that. So yeah, so once you're done with the setting up process, this is where you'll end up at. This is the actual dashboard in Zoho Books. So what it does is it provides a bird view account of all your important numbers in one place. You can see it for yourself here. You can see your total receivables, the total payables for your organization, the cash flow chart here for this fiscal year. If you want to change that and view the cash flow for the previous fiscal year, you can do that as well. As I scroll down, your income and expense breakdown by colors, it's there's a neat breakdown there. Or if you want to see your top expenses for this quarter or for the previous fiscal year, you can do that as well. So the dashboard is a pretty neat feature that we have, which from where you can quickly view all your important numbers, all your important data in one place before you run to your next business meeting or before you have update your boss about the important numbers. Okay, so on top right you have something called the settings, which would be the backbone of the entire operations that you would be doing with our software here. I'm going to quickly take you through each one of them here. Let's start with the organization profile. If you have a logo for your business, you will be uploading that here, and the other details like your organization name and portal URL that we already saw, it can be entered here. If you want to change that, you can do that as well. The business location by default is set to UAE because you are using our UAE specific VAT compliant edition of Zoho Books. Next, we come to opening balances. When you're migrating from one accounting software to Zoho Books, or you are at the end of a fiscal year, you would have something called a closing balance from your previous year. So in order to adjust that value when you start to use Zoho Books, you can easily do that here by just clicking on this edit button. Here we go. You can set the date for your opening balance, and here you can easily click and enter the opening balance in the specified account for which it should be related to. It's as easy as that. Now there are a bunch of other options here like users and roles preferences, etc. But what I'll quickly do now is take you directly to taxes, because I keep repeating it's VAT compliant, and I am excited to show you the VAT specific features that we have. So as soon as we click on taxes here, you'll be taken to the tax settings of our page. So once you're registered with the FTA, and the FTA provides your tax registration number, you just click this small tick box here, and yeah, this box becomes enabled for you, and all you have to do is enter the tax registration number that was given to you by the FTA and click on save. Here you can see the tax rates that's been already set up out of the box. Here you can see that the tax rates that was specified by the government of 5% standard rate and a zero rate as well. Apart from this, if you are a business owner who is looking for something like an excise tax, you can do that as well. You can easily click new tax here and type this in an excise tax. You can set the rate as you prefer, and you can save that and start adding that to your transactions as well. It's pretty easy. It's do it yourself. It's a do it yourself accounting software. You don't need an accounting background to get around all of this. So now that we've seen the important, at least the most important features and settings, that would be the organization profile, the opening balances, and taxes. Let me quickly take you back to the dashboard again. So here on the left, you see a bunch of options. So you can see your contacts, that's your customers or the vendors list that you have. Then the items, basically those are the products that you transact in. Your banking section, your sales, your purchases, which are two important sections of your business. So a timesheet, if you're in a sort of business where you're charging your customers by the hour, you can go for a timesheet. And if you want to set your managed journals or chart of accounts, etc., you can use your accountant here. And finally we have reports. Here you can seamlessly access all the different types of reports that we provide. If you want to export them, you can do that. If you want to send it as mail to your inbox, you can do that as well. So what I'll be doing across this half an hour will be going through each one of them one by one, and break it down into pieces, and wherever we encounter VAT specific changes, I'll be going into detail there. All right. Okay, let's start with contacts. So here you can see a list of contacts that I've already created. You can see the name, the company name if you have given one. There's one there in Arabic, the mail address that was specified when it was created, the total receivables or payables for this particular contact. So you see this shiny little new button here for creating a new contact. First up, you can specify if it is a customer or a vendor. You can specify the primary contact. After that, you can mention uh, the company name of this particular contact. And yeah, as you scroll down, you can see the VAT treatment that should be associated with this particular contact. So let's create a sample contact here. We'll call him Mark. Let's say that Mark is has registered for VAT and he's in Dubai right now. So let's go with VAT registered. You will have to enter the tax registration number for Mark. We'll just enter the sample value there. His place of supply, as I said already, would be Dubai. His currency would be, by default, it will be in dirhams. Yeah. And if you want to see, if you want to add any other options or like any other address or contact persons, or you can do that as well. Reporting tax is something that we would be covering later on. So yeah, this is the VAT specific feature that we have here. Mark, I've given it as VAT registered here. Let's say he's in Dubai, but he's not registered for VAT yet. So you have that option as well, and the place of supply list would still be the same. But he's out. Let's say he's outside the UAE. Let's say he's within a part of GCC, but not UAE. So all you have to do is select this option here, and the place of supply list. You can see how it was automatically populated with the rest of the countries that form a part of GCC. So this makes sure that on your part there won't be no error when you create a customer and enter the correct place of supply and VAT treatment for this person. We have got that covered for you, and we'll be taking care of that. So I'll go with VAT registered for this guy. Enter a dummy value. I'm setting the place of supply as Dubai, and I'm saving, and I'm good to go. So this is an overview of that customer here. If I want to add some comments here about that particular customer, I can do that. If yeah, for this particular customer, I haven't really created any transactions yet. So once that's done, these will be auto populated. If there are mails that have been sent out, that will be shown here as well. This is the final account statement for this customer. Again, we haven't really associated any transaction with this particular person, so that's why it's not there yet. Now let's go to items. Here you can see a list of items that we have already created, and yeah, you can see the item name, the type. If an item can be either a physical good or a service that you're offering to your customer, the rate at which you are making a sale of that item, and if you have enabled inventory, then the stock on hand for that particular item as well. So again, by clicking on this plus new, you can't really miss that. It's this shiny little icon on top here, plus new. You can easily create a new item. Let's create a product here. I'll be selling laptop covers for today. This is something that's optional. You can set the unit. I'll just go with pieces. If you have a SKU, a stop keeping unit, or a barcode, you give that as well. If this is a product that's eligible for excise tax, you can easily tick that here. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing sales for this product. So I'll untick my purchase bar for this and just focus on the sales bit. I am selling each of my laptop covers at, let's say, 150 dirhams. So this is the list of accounts that's available, and by default this the sale of this particular item would be related to your sales account, and I'm not going to change that for now. Yeah, if you remember to the beginning of this demo, I had shown you the tax settings that we have. We had two different taxes: the standard rate of 5% and zero rate. So let's say that laptop covers here are eligible for a 5% tax, and we save it. It is literally as easy as that. So again, you can see a list of active items that I've already created here on my left. So next we go to something called a price list. So there are these situations in which it is a holiday season, or there's a particular customer who keeps coming back to you, and you want to reward them with a particular discount or something. In those situations, you can go for something called a price list. So here you can see something that I've already created. It's I have named it as National Day Sales. So I've created a markdown percentage of 10%. So whichever transactions that come to me on National Day, that holiday, I'm gonna apply this particular price list to that transaction, and a 10% discount would be automatically applied to that particular transaction. And if there's any customer for which I wanna give discounts, I can do that easily as well with price lists. It's as easy as that. Again, you have this new price list option on top. Just by clicking that and filling out this information, you can do that. Next up, we have something called an item adjustment. If you have enabled inventory for your item when you create it, and let's say there's been a damaged goods, you can see something for your reference here. Yeah, so you can see something for your reference here. I had created an item called PC, and I'll just click on make an adjustment here. You can either adjust the quantity in stock, or you can adjust the value as well. If the cost is what you want to adjust, you can adjust both of that here. So PC was an item that I created, and I enabled my stock inventory stock for this. So yeah, I can easily adjust my quantity here. Let's say there has been 10 of these PCs that's been returned to me because it's damaged. I can easily give a -10 here, and it will be adjusted automatically in my inventory. So that's what's meant by an item adjustment. So next up, we'll jump to a very powerful module that we have, and that is the banking section. So Soho Books has this really neat feature. Whatever banking transaction that you have, if you have a bank account, you can easily link that to your Soho Books account by clicking on this button here. You can't miss that. And we already have a list of banks here. We have integrated with about 5,000 banks worldwide, so you'll be sure to find your bank within that list. uh, if even if you don't, you can enter your bank account manually here. So once you do that, what it does is it's really cool. So this is a bank account that I've already linked like that with Soho Books. So whatever transactions that I've had is automatically fetched, and my banking feeds are automatically fed into the screen right here. So you can take that and go one step further and associate that particular transaction with any invoice or other transaction that I've already created. It's as easy as that. So now let's quickly jump into the sales section of things. You can see under sales, you have your estimates or quotes, your sales orders, your invoices, your payments received, your recurring invoices, and your credit notes. So let's quickly jump through all of them. Yeah, an estimate is basically a quote that you send out to your customer, and here you can see something that I've already created. Just by clicking on this create estimate, you can create a new one as well. For converting this to an invoice, you can easily do that at the click of a button, or if you want to convert that to a sales order, you can do that as well. Next up is sales orders. Again, a list that I've created. This is really easy. Just seeing that here, you can see the information that I've already filled out. You can convert it to an invoice, or if you want to convert it to a purchase order, you can do that as well. So next up, we have invoices. Invoices is something that you send out to your customer. You can only see the list of invoices that I've already created. So before we create a new invoice and show the VAT specific VAT handling capabilities that we have, I'll show you something else here. If you're if you're doing this migration from another software to Zoho Books, and you have a bunch of invoices that you want to import, you can do that easily at the click of a button here. Here you can see import invoices, which prompts you to download a sample file, and you can compare that to the import file that you already have. Make sure that everything is matched and upload that here, and just click on next. And whatever invoice data that you previously had can be easily imported into your Zoho Books account. So yeah, you can see all the basic invoice features here: the date on which it was created, the invoice number, the customer name to which that invoice was sent out, or whose name in which it is raised, the status, the due date, the particular amount, and the balance due. So let's quickly create a new invoice here. Let's go with the customer here, Dr. Roshan. Yeah. So when I had created this particular customer, I had given it as VAT registered, and I had mentioned his billing address here. So you can see how the software works at the back end here. All that information is automatically captured. You don't have to worry about anything at all here. The place of supply was also automatically captured in this case. Let's just try someone else here. Okay, this person was outside the scope of GCC, and this is how we had created it. And yeah, this was the billing address that we had given when we created that particular contact, and the shipping address was given as the same. It is automatically populated by the software. So let's go with Roshan again, and yeah, the place of supply is Dubai. Invoice number is it's automated in a serial progression here. Invoice date, I'll set it to a date after Jan 1st. It's just warning me here that it's in the future. That's okay. Let's go with clickers. So when I'd created this particular item, I had set a tax rate of 5% here, a standard rate of 5%. And here you can see that it's been automatically populated. But even if that is the case, if you want to change the tax rate, you can easily do that here. You can come here and change that as well. So I'll just save it as draft here. Yeah. So you can see that the invoice template here generated here has been in Arabic. So by default, we have set the standard Arabic template. If you want to change that, if you want to view that in English, you can easily do that here. It all happens at the click of a button. You can change that here. You can either go to settings, play around with the templates that you have. Here you can see a list of different templates for the different transactions that you create, your estimates, your sales orders, invoices, all up to your bills. So let's quickly go to your invoices here. So this is how it looks like, your standard Arabic template. Let's select something like your standard template and play around a bit with that. So yeah, This is how your standard template looks like. And if you want to change something like your the background color, or if you want to insert your logo here or the font color here, whatever information that you see here on the left can be edited with easily at the click of a button. And here you can see more options. If you want to include a subtotal section here, you can do that. If you want to add a thank you note at the bottom, you can do that as well. Again, we'll go to the bills templates and play around with that as well. Again, you can see your standard Arabic template, which is completely in Arabic. And you can change around with the different template properties, the paper size, what you want, the orientation, what you want. Depending upon the type of business that you have, we have made sure that the brand that you have is completely reflected in all the communication that you send out to your vendor or your customer. Your header, the item table that you have, if you want to change the labels or the layouts, you can easily do that here. If you want to take out something or include something, you can do that as well. Okay, so let's go back to invoices again. So yeah, this was the one in Arabic that we just created. And if you want to change that, you can easily do that here. I'll change it to the standard template. Yep. So that's the standard template invoice that you get. So right now this invoice is in open state, and if you want to record payment for that, you can do that here at the click of a button. Invoice status will be changed to send once you do that, obviously. If you want to send a thank you note, you can do that here. So yeah, the open invoices that we have, that we created as draft, there are multiple ways of going about it. If you want to do that, mark them as close them in one shot, you can do that here easily at the click of a button. Or separately, if you want to record your payments received, just below invoices you have this option. These are the payments received that I've already recorded from these particular customers. There's a new button here again, where you can select the customer, the amount that he paid, the payment date, the specific account to which this was linked, and you can save it. Now, there are these situations in which you'll be issuing a recurring invoice to your customer. If you are in a subscription-based business where you are sending out recurring bills or monthly invoices, then you can go for something called a recurring invoice here. It's pretty easy. So all you have to do is again click on the new button here, select your customer. I'll just quickly give the profile as me. So yeah, what it does is, depending upon the cyclic interval that you set, an invoice would be automatically triggered to your customer. Let's say I want it every month. I just give it as month here. It starts from today. And I'm gonna choose AC repair and servicing. Click on save. I'll just change the customer here. Just a small confusion with the tax treatment for that particular customer. And a recurring invoice has been created. So what this does is, starting from today, in cyclic intervals every month, an automatic invoice would be sent out to your to that particular customer for that particular item that you've created. So if you are in a subscription based business, things have become so much easier for you, and Zoho Books itself takes care of the subscription part of your business. There are these situations in which you have to issue a refund to your customers. Like there's been a situation in which you have issued a damaged good, for example, and you owe a some amount of money to your customer. In those situations, a credit note is issued. So you can see the list of credit notes that I've already created here for my list of customers. I can just quickly open one. So yeah, what it does is another cool feature that we have. Just by clicking on invoice here, if there's an invoice for this particular person that I've created, this money would be automatically deducted from that invoice amount. So there is that extra headache for you that's removed at this stage. That calculation has been done automatically by the software, and you don't have to worry about it at all. So now let's quickly go to the purchases section, and whatever expenses that you have can be recorded here. If you have a new expense, you can record that at the click of a button here, and easily select the VAT treatment, just like what we saw earlier. If it's VAT registered within the UAE, you will go for this. If within UAE is not VAT registered, this is the option that we'll go for. For other GCC, these two options, and then there's of course outside GCC, and there's out of scope. So yeah, by now you'll be familiar with this concept. If it's VAT registered in UAE, a list of places within the UAE will be automatically populated. So there are these situations in which there'll be recurring expenses like your office rent or electricity or something. So you can create that as well. Just like your recurring invoices, your recurring expenses would also be automatically created. Purchase orders is something that you send out to your vendor before you actually make the purchase. This is something that I've already created. Let's create a new purchase order here for my customer here, who's GCC VAT registered, and just quickly select an item. Yeah, and whatever purchase orders that you create can be converted to bill at the click of a button. It's as simple as that. Coming to the bills, this is the list of bills that we've already created in Zoho Books. You can click on new here and create a new bill for your vendor. The bill number will be is something that you'll have to specify, and the bill date. Yeah, just the previous ordeal again. As you select the item, the tax section here will be automatically populated, and even after it is automatically populated, you have the option of saving it. And if you want to change that, you can do that as well. So all the payments that you made, you can record that here in one shot. Or you can go to an individual bill and record it here as well. It's really up to you. So just like recurring expenses, there are these situations in which recurring bills have to be generated as well, which can be easily created here. So yeah, just like what I mentioned about invoices, when you make the transition from one software to Zoho Books, you probably will have those existing bills that you want to import, which you can do that easily here at the click of a button. Not just for recurring bills, for the other options here as well. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just this small icon here, you click that, import bills, then arrange the data according to the sample file that we provide, and just import that. Things are that easy. So yeah, in those situations in which your vendor owes you some money, where there's again a damaged good, but in this situation, it's your vendor who has to give you money. A vendor credit is raised. It's also called a debit note. You can see that here. It's there's a list that I've already created. If you want to apply that to a bill, you can easily do that here. If you want to customize how it looks, update your logo and address, so you can do that as well. Yeah. Now let's quickly move to something called a timesheet. If you are a business owner who charges your customers by the hour, or by a timesheet, by the amount of time that they spend working on the project, then you can go for this option. You can easily create a new project here. You can type in your project name here, select the customer, specify the specific billing method. Let's say I'm going for something that's based on task hours. I am charging my customer per hour on how he, does his task. The user by default will be the admin for this particular organization here, and you can specify the rate per hour that I want to charge this customer with. You can do that as well. So this is something that you saw earlier in the dashboard as well. When you had come here, yeah, if there's any billing hours, any project that's running on a timer, you'll see all those details here. And yeah, adding to all the other data here, this was the bank account that I've already matched with my Zoho Books account. You can see the uncategorized transactions that I've already added here. So like I said in the very beginning, it's a bird's eye view of all the important data, all the transactions in a single place. So finally, we go to something called reports. So yeah, we provide about 50 plus insightful and powerful reports here. Whatever type of report that you want, like your business overview reports here that you see on the first, or your sales reports, or your inventory information, your payments received, whatever information it is, so you can view that in one place. And let's go to your balance sheet and view that. This would be your balance sheet as of today, that is 5th of December. If you want to customize it, you can do that. If I want to view the balance sheet for this particular quarter, just by changing this option here, I can run a report and see that data. Now, of course, just viewing this in within a software is probably not enough. As a business owner, you would need the option to print it out, which you can see here, or export it as a PDF or XLS if you want to share it with your business other colleagues or your board members as such. Or if you want to schedule a report, if you want this report to show up in your inbox, you can do that as well. And if you want to specify, if you want to get it on a monthly or a weekly or a quarterly basis, you can easily set that here by scheduling uh, a report email that will be sent out to your the specific email that you list out here. Again, just going back to the reports, I'll quickly run through all of them. Here you can see your profit and loss, the cash flow statement, the payables that you have, and finally coming to the elephant in the room, that would be the tax returns that you have, that you can see here. So this is something that will be really important at the time of filing VAT returns for you. So the FTA, the Federal Tax Authority, has specified a set of 14 or 15 different boxes and the associated amounts that has to be mentioned against it, and this is how it's going to look like. The standard rate it supplies in different places depending upon your place of supply or your intra GCC transactions or the imports that you make has to be all divided, and the taxable amount and the adjustment that you make, everything has to be broken down, and a detailed report has to be submitted to the FTA at the time of filing. So what we have done at Zoho Books, all this data is automatically captured for you. You can see that easily on the screen that we provide here. This is how your VAT return report is going to look like at the end of it all. So all you have to do is, so we're going to shortly provide you the option of exporting all this data as a file, and you can easily take that to your government portal and file it at the click of a button. So things are that easy. There's no manual work as such on your side. So tax handling as well as tax filing is something that we've really mastered with our previous experience in other countries, and we have applied that here as well, and you're completely good to go on the VAT front. So yeah, coming back to the main dashboard again, I'll just quickly run through the accountant feature that you have within your organization. If you want to adjust your entries within multiple accounts, you can do that using manual journals here. You can select an account and the specific contact person associated with that account, and you can make your adjustments there. Or if it's currency adjustment that you want to do, you can easily do that as well. And yeah, I'll just quickly show that as well. Australian dollar is what's there by default. You can easily change that to, let's say, British pounds. So I can just set the value here. So this comes in particularly for cross-border transactions. If you're a business owner who regularly deals with cross-border transactions, and you know that the foreign exchange would vary within the day, but as a business owner, when you send out your invoices, you would want to round off it to the nearest value. So that's something that you can easily do that here by making the base currency adjustment. We have a default set of chart of accounts that you can easily view here, and if you want to create a new chart, you can easily do that as well. You can specify the account type, the account name here, and save it. And let's say you want to lock your transactions for so that no changes are made to that. It's the end of a fiscal year and you're done with all the data, all the transactions, and you don't want anything new coming in or any alterations. You can easily do that by enabling your transaction locking and specifying the date. So yeah, next up, so we have covered up all the main features. That's something that you can view here straight away on the left. So yeah, I'll quickly take you through the documents feature that we have. So there are these situations in which you'll have to deal with business owners who are still using pen and paper, who is probably giving you a manual receipt when you're making a purchase. So in that situation, you can go for this really cool feature that we have. It's called document feature. So when you enable this module, what you get is either a dedicated mail address to which you can send these bills or receipts or whatever that you have, or you can quickly snap a picture of this bill and you can drag and drop your files here. The intelligent system that we have running behind our software captures all the important information that's a part of that bill, and all you have to do from your side is to match it or convert it into an invoice or any other transaction that you have. It's really cool, and it's something that you can try out if you have to deal with particular bills or manual bills or receipts that's coming your way. So yeah, that's about it. I can show you through the rest of settings as well. So Books is multi-user. It's not just you. If there are other people in the organization that you want to give access to, you can give that as well by quickly uh, clicking on the invite user here. You can do that. Preferences allows you to play around with practically all the features that you have. If you want to enable or disable something, any of the modules, you can do that easily here. Your sales estimates, how it's going to look like, how it's going to get automatically converted, you can decide all that here. Yeah. So Zoho Books is not just multi-user, it's multi-currency as well. Like I said earlier, if you are a business owner who is doing multi-currency transactions, you can easily do that here. Your base currency is automatically set to UAE dirhams, and yeah, by default the exchange rates are automatically set. If you want to play around with that, if you want to specify the decimal places or the format in which it's mentioned, you can do that as well. Taxes is something that we've already seen. Reporting tax is a really cool feature that we have. So there's this bunch of reports that you want to classify together, let's say based on location. So you can easily do that here. I want to classify all the business transactions that I do in Dubai or Sharjah. Then I can easily create a reporting tag called location, and give these options. Let's say I'll create a new reporting tag called department, and I'll associate sales and marketing. So now whenever there's a transaction that's created and I want to associate and I want to create a separate report, I want to view a separate report for based on my departments, for my marketing or for my sales. I can classify those transactions based on these reporting tags, and I can generate reports out of this. It's really cool. So templates is something that we've already seen. We have played around with it a little bit. Email templates. So there are a bunch of emails that you'll be sending out to your customer at every stage, like your client portal invitation, the user invite, the notifications, the various types of notifications that you have. So yeah, this is your invoice notification. You can easily see your default template, how it looks like. If you want to change something, you can change that here. That's your payment thank you note. Again, it's all pretty self-explanatory. Like I mentioned in the beginning, it's do it yourself software. You don't need a specific background to uh, to be knowledgeable about any of this. If you want to send reminder emails to your customers, like let's say 5 days before the payment date, you want to send out a reminder email, you can do that. Or if there's a payment overdue and they still haven't made the payment yet, you can do that as well. There are different types of doing it, and it's easily listed out here. So in apart from all this, if you want further customization from your side, you can do that using your workflow rules here. And webhooks is something else that we have. If you're using two softwares at the same time, like let's say our the Soho's sales software, that is CRM, and books, or any other third party software that we have, and you want one action in one software to trigger a response here, then you use something called a webhook. So you can do that as well within Zoho Books. So these are the out of the box integrations that we have within Zoho Books, the payment gateways that we have. And we'll be quickly coming out with a list of payment gateway integrations in the Middle East as well, the bunch of Zoho app integrations that we have, and the rest of the third party as well. So yeah, you can export all your data, that all the transactions that you've created as a CSV file. You can easily come to data backup and click here and do that. So this is a question that we often get. It's because you guys will be doing transactions on the cloud online. So what happens exactly to your data? And I'm here to say there's absolutely no worry about it. We take complete care of your security of your data backup. And if you want to back up your data and store it in your system, we provide that option as well. So yeah, I've given a complete overview here. And if you have any further questions, you can always click on the question button here, and you can always reach out to us. Our sales and support team are available always to answer your calls. So I hope I have explained in detail, given you a general overview of all the features of the VAT compliant version of Zoho Books. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us via our help and support that's listed out here via call or email, and we'll be really happy to help. So that's it for now. Thanks for hearing me out, guys, and see you